Hey, it's Allie. Welcome back to my library. Today, I want to talk to you about Susan David's book, Emotional Agility. I love this book and I love her TED Talk if you haven't seen it, Susan David. Anyway, in this book, she talks really about emotionally unhooking. And in my program, Getting Promoted for Women, I talk about this a lot in the last section about rise, where we have to think about how we use our emotions. And what Susan David says in her book is that our emotions are data. Our emotions are information, and we need to learn how to show up, name those emotions, name those feelings we're having, and then unhook from them. So we use them as data. We use them as information. Something's not right here. Something doesn't feel good for me. And instead of then reacting to our emotions, we go back to our core values. And in our program, we talk about how core values are how we live a purposeful life, how we live a life of action, and how our purposeful intention gets us what we want. But for so many people, so often, actually, we're just having emotions. We're not naming them. We're reacting to them. And then we're living a life that's reactionary and oftentimes just based on staying out of harm's way or out of danger or keeping fear and difficult feelings at bay. And what Susan David says is you've got to name them. You've got to accept them and then unhook from them. And also in this book, she quotes Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. And I love this quote. She says, Viktor Frankl says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. I love that. And now I'm just going to read a little bit of Susan David because I love this part where she does say you have to name your emotions. You have to know them. And I have to say for me, I was a lawyer for a long time. And I remember when I first started working with my coach and he was like, how do you feel? And I would just tell him what I think. And he would say, well, those are thoughts. How do you feel? And the sooner that I got to that place where I could name my feeling, I could use it as information, unhook from it, connect back to my core values, and use that to make decisions rather than just reacting. Susan David says, once we stop struggling to eliminate distressing feelings, and in her TED Talk, she talks about the tyranny of the positive. It's not just about positive affirmations or saying everything will be okay. We have to name the feelings. But once we stop struggling to eliminate them or to smother them with positive affirmations or rationalization, they can teach us valuable lessons. Self-doubt, self-criticism, even anger and regret shine light into the dark, murky, scary places you most want to ignore, which are places of vulnerability and weakness. But showing up to these feelings helps you anticipate the pitfalls and prepare more effective ways of coping during critical moments. Anyway, emotional agility, Susan David, I love it. Know your emotions, name them, unhook from them, reconnect to your values, and use them as information so that you can make purposeful and intentional choices to live the life that you most want to live. Anyway, check it out.